I hope you're having a fabulous today. We are going to start a new project that's going to take us more than one art time to finish. And it is going to help us promote happiness, positivity, and gratitude. So today we're going to be brainstorming some words that we can use in our art project. You're going to need a marker, and if you don't have a marker, you can use a crayon as well, or colored pencil. And you're going to need a piece of paper. So gather your supplies and let's get started. So I want to show you what our finished product is going to look like, or something like this when you're finished. I like to call this the gratitude jar. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to be working on the frame portion of this today. And I use a marker / watercolor technique to make my frame. I use words, but you notice they're kind of a little smudgy, and that's okay. They don't have to be completely readable. What we're going to do is we're going to come up with a list of words first that you can use, and if you have other ideas, as long as they fit within the framework of being positive, happy, or along the words of gratitude, you can use those words in your paper today. So let's just first brainstorm. Positive, I mean, you could even use the word positive if you would like. You could use happy. You could use smile, laughter, you could use things that you're grateful for as well. You could do family, and maybe you would like to even list mom and dad, brother, sister. Try to stay away from actual names. You can use, you could say love, friendship. We're not going to use real names. You could say you're grateful for school if you're grateful for school. Learning. Hope. Peace. Joy. And I bet you could come up with a whole nother list of words. If we wanted to spend the whole day doing that, we could. But I think this is a good place to start. And what you're going to do once you have some words that you would like to use, and by the way, you don't have to use all of these words. You can come up with a list of your own positive, happy, and appreciative words. So once you have those words decided, what you're going to do is you're going to use a marker. Now, if you don't have markers at home, you can use a crayon and do the same thing and then just color this whole paper. I'll show you what that would look like at the end of this video, but I want to show the marker technique first. If you want, you can use just one color, and I used only one color on this frame. You can see it was all blue that I happened to use. If you would like to use more than one color, what I recommend you do is you use no more than 2 or 3, and that they should be kind of in the same family of colors. So for example, if I looked at a color wheel, so if I look at a color wheel, this will help me figure out what colors would look good together. If you choose colors that are right next to each other on the color wheel, they'll always look really nice with each other. You do need to be careful if you're going to go across the color wheel over to the other side, because if you do that, you're probably, if the colors end up mixing, going to end up with kind of a brown or a gray sort of color. And we want to avoid that on this project. So what we want to do is stick with colors that are analogous. So if I chose red as one of my colors, I could also choose purple, because that's right next to red. I could even choose blue, and these colors would look really nice. Another thing to watch out for, and if you only wanted to use 2 of the colors, that would also be okay. You do have to be careful also about secondary colors, and secondary colors are orange, green, and purple. If you end up using two of those in the same, it might also look a little funny. So watch out for those secondary colors. It's okay to use one, but if you end up using two secondary colors, you might end up with kind of some interesting or non-desirable sort of colors. So what you will do once you have chosen your color or colors that you are going to do is you're going to start off by writing some of these words on here. Now you want to write them with your marker. You don't want to write them with pencil first, unless you don't have markers, of course. But you're just going to write some of these words. Happy. I'm going to put a little dot in between. I'll do smile. Maybe I'll say smiles because I'm grateful for smiles. And I'm going to say love. That fits in nice. If I want to use more than one color, I can simply switch colors when I get to the next row. And I might start with laughter. Let's do school. I need something short. I'm going to do hope. And I'll switch over to red now. Maybe I'll start with a nice short word this time. Joy. And friendship. One thing you do have to be careful here is if you misspell a word. Although it's not super big deal if you make a mistake on the spelling, because there is a way to kind of disguise that. You'll see some of my words almost get completely erased when we start adding water to this. All right, I'm going to keep going in this pattern, blue, purple, red, and I'm going to try. Now that I think I'm down to this part, I'm going to show you. This is the side that we're going to make, size of paper we're going to do our jar on, and it would be nice to actually not have to worry about filling all of the space behind here. So I'm going to kind of just put some words along the sides, and if they overlap, I like them a little longer. So I'm going to go with learning. And over here I might do smile. It is okay to repeat your words. So don't get stressed out if you have to use some of the same ones. I try not to use them right away. For example, I have hope over here and hope up there, so it's not super big deal. I'm going to put a dot there just in case people see that. Oh, let's do peace. And I'm going to keep doing this all the way to the bottom of my paper, and I'll show you what that looks like when I'm done. All right, so you can see I have filled nearly this whole paper. I did leave about a hand space empty in the middle because I know later on that my jar is probably going to cover that up. Once you have this done, make sure before you proceed to the next part, before you go on, that you write your name on the back. And if you're at school, make sure your code's on there too. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take just a little bit of water. I'm going to use a paintbrush. You could use even your finger if you needed to just use your finger and do this. You can. You can use a tissue that's dipped in water. You can use a Q-tip or a cotton swab. And what I'm doing is I am just really getting my paper wet, going over it about one time, not going over it lots of time, just making sure everything gets wet. I'm trying not to let it get too soggy. If I see a puddle, I just try to get rid of that by spreading it around. I'm going to paint all of my paper, and when it's all wet, I will show you what that looks like. Okay, so I have this whole paper wet. You'll notice I even painted, I know my jar is going to be there, but I even painted that in just to make sure the whole thing gets painted. I paint clear or I get the water clear to the edges, you'll notice that some of my words almost disappear. Others will be just kind of smeared, and some you can almost read almost clearly, just like before. It just depends on how much water is and how much it decides to spread. You don't always have the most control over that. So what you need to do is save this paper for next time, and next time we're going to be working on the jar, and so we'll use that same marker idea. And I said I would show you how to do the crayon way. So if you want to do crayons, you would still write name, write your words, family, friendship. You want to have nice handwriting, not messy. And you would continue writing out your words, and then when you're finished, you will take another color that is analogous, or you could use the same color and just do it lighter. You're going to take this color. How about I use some blue? This is purple. I have just the side of my crayon. And then you can do the whole paper this way. The idea not to completely cover up your words, but so that you can make out a few of those when you're done. You would do the whole paper this way and then save it for next time. If you're at home, make sure to upload a picture of this to Seesaw so I can see how you're doing. Or if you need help, contact me on Seesaw or in Microsoft Teams. I'm glad to help out with anything that I can. And I can't wait to see what words that you come up with. Remember, they have to be positive, uplifting words. Things that you show gratitude for would be great. And until next time, artists, I'll see you. Goodbye.